Sound like a stupid question, doesn't it? I mean, there's no one who is willing to go to hell. Not in this room anyway. There are some Satanists who have already purchased their tickets. But we ain't talking about them. Within this room here, everyone, no one raised their hand. No one uttered a single sound, as a matter of fact. No one is willing to go to hell. Why? Trinity, what would you say, brother? What would you say? Why not? Why not hell? I couldn't hear you. Where's the rocket back? Rocket back. I don't want to miss none of that. Let me hear that.
Truth be told, not my entire life, I done been through too much hell to then die and then go to hell. And on top of that, that's an eternity.
That's an eternity. Okay? So the time frame is something that's on your mind. The time frame.
Not just more so the time frame, but you have to understand, because like all of your sins, before you even get this, it will flash right before your eyes from since H5 then so.
Okay. So your whole life will flash before you. Then you got the time frame that you're looking at, and it's an eternity, which is a long time. You know, I've been on this earth for 46 years. And it seems like a long time. But you get people like my grandmother who just went to sleep 2 years ago. She was 98. So 46 years was nothing to her. She was calling me young. You know what I'm saying? So she done doubled my lifespan. So when it comes to hell, we thinking about time. We think about the fact that our life's going to be flashed before our eyes. What else? What else, Sister Maya? It's the ultimate failure. Okay? Okay? Okay, so everything's in vain. It's an ultimate failure. Hell. Say again? You can't make it out of there. Okay, kind of like this planet.
Life torment.
Sister Linda?
I would say you fear hell because you'll be separated from the Father and all His mercy and goodness upon our lives.
That's my wife just said the same thing. That's right, separation from the Father. Esdras, right up here. Welcome out, Jay. We're talking about hell, man. We're talking about hell and why we don't want to go there. Esdras, go ahead.
I think everybody got this thing about hell where even if you're not in the Lord, you fear hell because you know, like, it's pain and you're gonna hurt, it's something bad that's gonna happen to you. You know the details about hell concerning physically what's gonna happen to you. So they're kind of scared if you in the Lord or not.
Right.
That's kind of scary.
Okay. So the pain aspect of hell. Excellent point, Esdras.
There's no do-overs.
No do-overs.
None.
There's no do-overs. That's right. No escape, no do-overs. Ultimate failure.
Constantly thinking about it, what you could have done, what you should have did.
Constantly thinking about it, what you should have done, what you could have done.
I know on Day of Atonement I was thirsty.
Say it again, man.
Except on Day of Atonement I was thirsty.
Let's see, on the Day of Atonement, my wife said she was thirsty on the Day of Atonement.
One day.
Just that day. She was thirsty. Now, she wasn't the only one. I was parched, Jack. I felt like a prune.
Everlasting torment.
Everlasting torment.
To no end.
That's right. Come on, Dr. David back here. We got Dr. David.
Yeah, it gets easier.
One of the very sobering things that just was read in the law is that sin will be passed on to the third or fourth generation, and then the Hades. So if you're going to hell, your sins are going to your child.
Did y'all hear that? Did anyone not hear that? Okay, what Dr. David just made reference to is a scripture within Deuteronomy that says that those sins will pass down to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So as you go to sleep, that those sins pass down to the next generation, and to the next generation, and to the next generation. Do y'all know what that's called?
Generational curses.
You got some Bible readers over here, huh? Got some Bible readers in here. That's right. Generational curses. That's right. Sister Jackie?
Well, aside from everything that was already said, one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to go to hell is because, like, I don't even like being in a room with just, like, evil people or, like, people that's filled with demonic spirit. I couldn't imagine just being with them all the time. There's no escape once you get down.
Okay. Mother Debbie?
People say that this is hell on earth. This is a walk in the park.
Yeah, they don't see it.
Compare.
Yeah.
Get into them 70 verses, you're going to see Hell is nothing that anyone in their half right mind would want to go to because it's perpetual torment.
Man, that's an excellent point, Brother Debbie, excellent point. Because here, people think this is bad. I mean, you hear people crying and complaining and murmuring about all the stuff they gotta go through here. This little stuff. The stuff that the Most High said, this too shall pass. This will pass. But when it comes to hell, ain't no passing. Ain't no passing. Go ahead, Doc.
Also, just being in there in hell, you'll be able to look across the void and see the people in the bosom of Abraham living in paradise. That's gotta be a torment in itself.
Yeah, but that's torment. That's torment. Hell got different levels to it. We're gonna get there too. Outside.
You stole my thunder. One of the things I'm always looking for is the restoration of Israel. I remember being a young man, looking at my people and being like, we gotta be better than just drug addicts and the way the ladies who present themselves, the way men were selling drugs. Like I've always wanted to see an image of Judah especially, of just not being a thug or a criminal, and to know that there would be a day, there would be a kingdom where we would be conducting ourselves as the whole nation was supposed to be. To know that I lived a life and missed out on that, out of all the pain would probably be what would hurt the most.
Great point, Doc. Great point. So as you see, we hear a lot of different reasons why we don't want to go to hell.
We know the truth, so we have like 7 times more lashes on our back. So like we so harsh with Christians and Muslims, but they don't know they worship the Savior. It's all bad.
Yeah. And that's a great point. What Sister Maya just brought up is different types of torments within hell for different individuals. So, and that's what we're going to go into today, so that you can see that all torments and all punishments or judgments will not be the same. There are different punishments for different individuals. For people who know the truth and turn away from the truth, there's a specific punishment for those individuals. There's a specific punishment for pastors who lead the sheep astray. A specific punishment for them. Come. So let's get into it. We've heard a lot of different explanations, all good explanations, but there's more to it than that. Okay? Now keep in mind that hell, my wife and Sister Linda brought up 2 excellent points, is the separation from the Most High. That's the worst punishment of them all. That's the worst punishment of them all, is the separation from the Father. All right? Read that commentary, right?
With every day that passes, we come closer to the reality that there is a judgment ahead, although many decide to ignore the obvious. With every volcanic eruption, we are also reminded of hell, yet the sign which is there for all to see is also just seen as a natural occurrence, when the people of the past knew that the volcanoes were entrances for hell, and feared these areas. Some doubt hell exists, and even worse, some teach it's nothing more than what we already go through from day to day. We are going to take a look at the Bible to see what the real truth of the matter is, so that we are not overtaken with the rest of the world who walk in blindness.
So let's begin at the book of Hebrews. We're going to go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verses 27 and 28. Now, for those who are visiting with us today, we read the scriptures precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. All right, because King David said in the book of Psalms that it's through thy precepts that we get understanding. So we will be bouncing around so that we can get understanding of what we are talking about and validate our understanding. That way there is no private interpretation that's going on. All right? Besides, your boys want to stay here, they want to go to the club. It's up to them, either way you want to do it. The book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27 through 28.
And it reads, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment.
Okay, so here, we got this death piece when people go to sleep. You got some people that believe that there's a reincarnation, that you're going to come back as another animal or another something or other, whatever it is. But it's given unto man once to die, period, point blank. But after that, judgment. Which means that when they died at one time, that they are going to either one place or the other, which is going to be either the bosom of Abraham or torments, which is what Arakazar was referring to when he was talking about the great gulf being fixed and you being able to look across the gulf and see on the other side. You're either going to torments or to the bosom of Abraham, which is also known as paradise, in perfect silence. There is the waiting period for Judgment Day. When Christ returns, those that are in paradise are going to be caught up and meet him in the sky. The dead in Christ shall rise first. That's what that's referring to, is those that are in the bosom of Abraham will be caught up with Christ, meet him in the sky to war against the rest of the world who is against the Most High in Christ. All right? Read on.
Verse 28, so Christ was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation.
Those that look for him, he will appear to them. What about those who ain't looking? They will be caught as a thief in the night. That's what the Bible says. He will come as a thief in the night to those who are not looking for him. You're going to be caught off guard. In this world today, you might say you're going to get snubbed if you are not prepared and you are not looking for him. And know this, but the scriptures also says this, man. It says, look, those that seek me early shall find me. Those that seek me early shall find me. So what's early?
ASAP.
Before he returns. Because once he returns, it's not early anymore. You're late now. You're late now. You got penalties, fines, and fees coming. You're late.
Man, just like Christ dies only once, just as Yeshua died once for the sins of the world, what happens next after death? Is there a hell that all souls go to after dying? Absolutely.
So we're going to 2 Peter 2 and 4. 2 Peter 2 and 4.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4, and it reads, for if Ahia spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment.
See, hell was not wasn't made originally for man. It was made for the angels that had fallen. So if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, what do you think is going to happen to us? Those that sin. Now, to understand this scripture, you got to understand what sin is. If you don't know what sin is, according to scripture, then you're going to be missing an important piece to this recipe right here, okay? So sin is the transgression of the law. Anything outside of the law is considered sin to the Most High. I don't care what your neighbor say, what your mother may say, your brother, your cousin, your best friend, it doesn't make a difference. There's only one judge. So if he has defined sin as a transgression of the law, anything outside of it is a sin. And if he did not spare the angels that sinned, that transgressed the law, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Remember, I was just talking about the two places, one or the other we go to, which is the bosom of Abraham and torments. That's the reservation. You're being reserved unto judgment.
And just to touch on the grace and the mercy of the Most High, you know, we're given the opportunity to sin, but the angels, they transgress one time. Judgment. They don't have that grace. They don't have that mercy because they have more understanding than we do. And that's one of the things that, you know, the enemy doesn't like about us. Is that we're the image of the Most High, and he gives us chance after chance after chance to get this thing right. So just want to touch on that.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Excellent point.
They said that there's a movie called Prophecy. And they said they called us talk monkey. He said that y'all got all these changes, you messed up one time. He never loved us. He said that was the reason why all that he made man so bad. They were jealous of our changes. The prophecy is just a walk.
What year is that? How long ago was that?
My favorite movie is probably 10 years ago. It's an awful
Prophecy.
good movie.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
So, what is Peter talking about? Is there somewhere in which souls are held until the judgment? Let's look at a few sources which are authenticated by the Bible itself.
We're going to the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 14 to 15.
The book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 14. And it reads, And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
Now, this is a hard scripture right here, y'all. Okay? Because as you see, they keep making reference to ungodly. 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 It's like pushing your head down into the mud over and over and over again. Ungodly. Sinners. Like you growling at it. And if you know, like, when you get dragged to hell, it's going to be by a spirit that look like you. And he's going to grab you by your left hand and pull you into hell, growling at you. See, so when you read this scripture here, you know, that's what you see. That's what I see. Because I see that happening here where you, and like just growling in your ear, saying this, that Christ is coming with 10,000 of his saints. As we mentioned earlier, that the dead in Christ shall rise first. This is that time period right here. This is when that'll happen. And he's coming for a specific purpose, and the purpose is in verse 15, to execute judgment upon all. That's the judgment that's coming. Here is when Yeshua is going to separate the sheep from the goats. The sheep will be on his right hand, and all the goats will be on his left hand. So, and this is why I make it a point for us not to be calling our children kids. Because society teaches us, call them goats, baby goats, baby goats. Speak that over their lives. No, we don't call on now. We're not going to speak that over our children's lives any longer. That's done with. We're going to speak those things that are not as though they were. You understand? So we're going to refuse to call our children's kids any further. Because we want to be on the right hand of the Most High in Christ.
In the Hebrew, child is Yalad. Children is Yalad young. Child is Yalad. Children is Yalad young.
Yes, sir.
I had experience with I was selling a lady with life insurance, and she had blood clots and basically almost died in the past year, right? So I'm doing the paperwork. She has 3 young girls, and while I'm doing the paperwork, she has Ellen DeGeneres, the sodomite on, doing comedy. Basically, for an hour and a half, this woman was on there making fun of the Most High, making fun of his people, making fun of his word. And when you read the scripture about all the ungodly sinners and the hard speeches that they say against him, because it's not just individual people, but it's a society and how they paint him. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this woman who just died, I'm looking at her daughters hearing this, and basically, how serious will her daughters ever take the Bible? Coming up in an environment where you're listening to sodomite basically make fun of it, make fun of believers. She said that God was a black woman and all types of just crazy foolishness. She asked me, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, I find her a little hard to listen to. That's all. But I'm gonna try to finish up the paperwork and get out of here very quickly because I don't want to make any comments. But this is the scripture that was coming to my head the whole time I'm listening to the sodomite take shots at my father.
Right. Yeah, and that ungodly speech, man, is a nasty creature too. Because think about this: when we deal with situations from day to day, like losing someone, brothers, sisters, and up out of our mouths comes things like this. There ain't no God unless you say my brother, my sister, my mother, or whomever. God don't exist unless. What about those types of speeches? Because those are things that will come out arbitrarily, knowing and understanding, well, maybe not knowing and understanding, but we do, that we will be judged for every idle word that we speak.
Right.
And these ungodly words and that hard speech that we tend to speak. Such as, how about to those that we claim that we love, and up out of our mouths, out of our bellies, rather, let me put it that way, comes, I hate you. I hate you. It doesn't seem like it's that bad, like it's not that harsh, right? But if everything comes in twos and you truly understand that, then you realize that Christ is separating the sheep from the goats. The ones on the right side, that's the love side. Remember what the 2 greatest commandments are, right? Who knows what those are? Azaz? Go ahead.
Love the Lord with your mind, your heart, your soul. And
Love the Most High with your heart, mind, soul.
love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Love your neighbor as yourself. It didn't say nothing about hate though, did it? It didn't even say nothing about liking them. He said to love them. Love them. That's the commandment. To love them. So if you're saying I hate you, that is speaking against the Most High. That is hard speech. That is ungodly speech. We got to understand that. Relationships. Argue with girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives, and those hard speeches come out when you get to talking about them, knowing that you intentionally are trying to harm them. That's hard speech. You want to hurt their feelings. That's hard speech. And get pleasure out of it. And get pleasure out of it, which is spoken of in Galatians 5, when it's speaking about the works of the flesh. That you take pleasure in doing the works of the flesh. But that verse also ends with, those that do those things shall not inherit the kingdom. So now, if we are dealing with individuals, friends, it makes no difference, it's strangers, let's deal with a stranger. And you want to speak those harsh words, those ungodly words to these strangers, we should be thinking about this now. We should be thinking about this now because according to Scripture, we also have to be mindful of entertaining strangers because we might be entertaining an angel unaware. You don't know. But when you get caught slipping, because if you slip, you might not stop sliding. You might not stop sliding.
The same scripture is in the book of Enoch, chapter 1, verse 9. Verse 9, and behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and all of the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
Y'all hear that? See, as y'all see now, we're laying the platform that this is not a game. This is serious. This is life or death serious. To the point that everyone here has something that needs to change. Starting today. If you disagree with that, you're lying to yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. This is not a game. And hell is real. Not only is it real, but it's hot. Not only is it hot, but it's cold. I'm just telling you the truth. Because you got to know about these things so you understand what it is you're trying to make absolutely sure you do not partake in it. But Rockazar?
Yeah, they had played a video that I was watching on YouTube where they dropped a microphone so many miles down into the earth that you can hear all the torments and all of that. You know, it's something.
Yeah, that's a good point, That's a good point. So they got this microphone they dropped down in Russia, right? That they hear all these torments and all that stuff going on. Now, let me assure you of something. That's only the surface of it. Because y'all see what it's like when we take these microphones just to the back of the room. You start losing transmission real quick and easy. That microphone ain't got that good a transmission, right? Okay? And like I just mentioned, hell is hot. And you got volcanoes, which are openings to hell, and you ain't gonna drop no microphone in a volcano and it be able to survive that. That's nothing but the surface, man. We ain't got a clue. But I'm gonna tell you something. Spirits are real, and the Most High's word be true. And every man be a liar. So, as we read here, we come to these 70 missing verses, and second Esdras is walking, and the angels are explaining to him what's going on. He's asking these questions. Good questions, too. Questions we would want to ask. He's going to explain to them in great detail what's going on in hell. From somebody who knows. Like, and y'all could just state it. The angels knew more. They were more informed than we are. And with great knowledge comes great responsibility, right? Is that what they say? So, the angels, they only got one time and messed up. See, scientists say that we only use, 10% of our brain? Is that what they tell us? 10%. But we got that mercy, we got that grace to be able to get it right now. Knowing and understanding, too, that even in the Old Testament, when people would sin and they were stoned and judged instantly, where they would die instantly, That's just the first death. There's a second one. There's a second death that we got to get to.
Now, what was Enoch shown concerning hell? Verse 11, it reads, And the Most High said unto Michael, Go, bind. Okay. Go, bind Simjaza and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness.
Now, y'all heard that name, Simjaza, right? Now, this is an angel here, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with, within the scriptures, it speaks about a giant called Og. Og, the OG. Og is Simjaza's grandson. Okay? Og is Simjaza's grandson. And Og is the one that made it on the other side of the flood. Okay? So when you hear these names like this, you got to be able to correlate who these people are, so that as you read more and more scriptures, it may not be today, but as you read more and more scriptures, you say, okay, yeah, I remember that name. Now I can correlate with who that is. Okay? So we don't.
Is it OG?
OG, yes sir. OG.
And how ironic that name is popular amongst our people.
Yeah. And they always want to call you OG. I ain't
Not
OG.
anymore.
You know what I just found out? Damu, the whole gang thing.
Yeah.
That's Tammuz.
Yeah.
That's another way to say
Yeah,
Tammuz.
I heard Son saying that name. The blood.
Yeah, the blood of the crick. How they say Damu?
Damu?
Yeah. And the gangs, and the blood gangs specifically, they say Damu. You know? Yeah. Damu. That is another language of saying Tammuz. It's another way of saying Tammuz.
That's interesting.
So they don't know that they worship in Tammuz.
Good point, huh? Yeah, and invoking those spirits too. Invoke them, invite them in. We don't.
And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment, in all of their consummation, to the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated.
That's right. So the giants would fight against each other to destroy each other. Okay, so this is what this is referring to. When their children would fight against each other and destroy one another, they're talking about the giants, the Nephilim, the clash of the titans, that's right, would destroy each other. At that time, they're instructed to now bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth until the day of their judgment. Until the day of their judgment and of their consummation. So they got a judgment coming too.
And just for clarity too, these are the angels that come from heaven and have children with the daughters of men. It's not the offspring of them, the children of them, the Nephilim, because they become evil spirits on the earth. That was part of their punishment. The Most High made them watch their children kill each other, because they thought they was going to reign as gods forever on the earth.
Right, Tom. Good point. What,
see the stars, this demon used to be there, things like that. So
that's right, because the stars are angels. And that's why all your idolatry shows, like American Idol, they call you stars. He's a star. And then they want people to worship you. And they do worship. You ever go into somebody's room and they got pictures all over the place of these individuals? That is worship. That's what that is. That's a form of it. We don't.
In those days, they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment, and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations.
Kai, how long?
To the end of all generations.
All generations, that's what it said, right? Okay, so we know that they got a judgment. We had already said that hell was not originally intended for man, but hell has enlarged herself now, and that those and whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will be from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations. So now, our judgment meets up with their judgment. That's serious business, y'all. That's serious business.
There are many different places within the inside of the earth in which the fallen angels have been bound unto the last days, in which judgment shall come upon them. They shall be taken into parts of the earth in which they shall be tortured forever.
Forever. So we're going to the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch, chapter 54, verses 1 through 6. For those of you who do not have the book of Enoch, pay close attention, please, okay? If you do not have the book to read along with us, listen intently.
Enoch chapter 54, verse 1. And I looked and turned to another part of burning fire. And they brought the kings and the mighty and began to cast them into this deep valley.
Now remember, we just read in the verses we just got finished where the angels were instructed to bind them fast. Bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth. So now Enoch is confirming what we just got finished reading about these valleys. Read on.
Verse 3. And there mine eyes saw how they made these their instruments.
So in verse 1 it says these deep valleys were with burning fire. So these deep valleys that are being referred to are with burning fire. Read on out.
Iron chains.
Iron chains.
Of immeasurable weight.
Of immeasurable weight. That means you ain't getting out. The rocket thought. You are not escaping. Immeasurable weight.
That's weight.
I mean, that's serious, man.
Chapter 54.
Chapter 54, we're on verse 3, getting ready to go to verse 4.
And it reads, And I asked the angel of peace, who went with me, saying, For whom are these chains being prepared?
So, Enoch asked a question to something or someone specific, and he asked the angel of peace. The angel of peace. It should tell you something too, even within prayers, when we're praying for peace, we should be asking for a visit from the angel of peace. For healing, we should be asking for a visit from the healing angel. Rapaya Allah, the healing angel, specifically. Read on.
Verse 5, And he said unto me, These are being prepared for the host of Azazel, so that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation. And they shall cover their jaws with rough stones, as the Lord of spirits commanded.
So when we see this name Azazel, at first glance, you just read it and keep going and don't think anything of it. But see, Azazel is the same angel who taught women about makeup. This is the one who taught women how to beautify their eyelids so they could entice men. Okay? He's also told the men about warfare and weapons. It's the same angel. So Enoch is confirming what Genesis was talking about.
Verse 6, and Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel shall take hold of them on the great day and cast them on that day into the burning furnace, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness and becoming subject to Satan and leading astray those who dwell on the earth.
And leading astray those who dwell on the earth. So these fallen angels' jobs here, their intentions are to lead those who dwell on the earth astray. Who would that be? That's us. That's us. Now, these are spirits. Do spirits sleep? Do they rest? So that means that even when you rest, they still at work. That means that if we know that, we got to be on our A game, even before we lay down for rest, which is why people pray at night before they go to rest. They pray that their vessel will be protected. Or is that not familiar? Y'all pray at night, right? Okay, all right. Y'all looking at me like y'all ain't know what I was talking about.
And in the afternoon.
Huh?
And in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, sure, yeah, that's right. When the sun go down, that's right, yes, pray. In all things, pray. But they don't sleep. The struggle is real. They are trying to kill you. They want to see your soul in hell. They know what their judgment is. We just read it. They know what their judgment is. The lake of fire is their judgment. How do we know that they know what their judgment is then?
I know in the New Testament when he was casting out the spirits out of the man, he asked him, "Did you come to torment us before our time?"
There you go. There you go. You're talking about the story of Legion. Right. That's right. That's exactly the point. The story of Legion. And they came and they saw Yeshua and they said, "Have you come to torment us before our time?" They already know what their judgment is. But they want to take you with them. They don't want to go alone. Think about how many people don't want to go to the gym alone. Come on, tell the truth and shame the devil. Everybody want a partner, right? Everybody want a partner. I ain't going by myself. Hey man, you want to go to the store with me? They want to take you with them into the eternal damnation. And if we don't guard our vessel, if we don't fight, if we don't endure to the end in the process of this fight, they will succeed. Drake, rock us up.
I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm trying to distinguish something. In hell, there is a judgment for us, it's a judgment for the angels as well. Mm-hmm. So when we hear about torture down there, you know, is it him who has been judged himself trying to, torture, us or, whoever? Or is it like specific spirits that the Most High had placed down here to carry out judgment or torture?
Okay, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Because we're getting ready to go there. All right, we want to go there. Stay tuned. Don't tune out. And don't leave. All right, stay put. We going there. All right? Yeah.
Just a quick testimony too, about us getting attacked at nighttime, Before going into the water, there was multiple demons, that I had to confess up and get off. And, after getting in the water and getting them all moved off of me, I was recognizing certain attacks, and the particular one that I'm talking about right now is hatred. And, I was really, really a person that was just full with extreme hatred before going into the water. And, I had, all praise to the Most High, I had been able to learn and be able to overcome my hatred for brothers and sisters while I was awake, okay? And, I was able to recognize and see how that same spirit, that same demon was coming and attacking me, and I got better and better and better at overcoming that attack, to the point to where I would laugh at it while I was awake when it come at me. I'm like, nah, you ain't getting me today. I'm prayed up, I'm good. I had a dream. I had a dream that I was going around ripping people's heads, grabbing the top of their mouth and just ripping their whole head back and just ramming my arm down through their throat. In my dream, I'm actually full of hatred and murder, because that's what it leads to. And it was like, I woke up like, oh, because, just like Deacon said, I didn't pray up before going to sleep. I slacked, and went to sleep unprepared, unguarded, unshielded, and I was allowed to have that dream. But, I come to understand because that same type of thing happened with other demons that I was dealing with. So the point is, family, we need to pay attention to these dreams. We do get attacked in these dreams. If we having crazy sexual dreams while we sleep, that's an attack. If we running around blowing down on people with guns, that's an attack. So just beware of that.
Excellent point. The water for that testimony too. And that is absolutely 100% correct. The struggle is real, family, okay? And we have to guard ourselves. That's why sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and some people just start reading. Let me go straight to the word. Kai, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? You've been there, haven't you? Give me an example. Why? Why? What happened?
This happened probably like a month back or so. But I was talking to my mom and something had happened. But that night when I went to sleep, it was this dream that the world had ended. And it was me, my sister, and it was like, my mom, she was with us, but unfortunately, it's like something happened where she had got left behind. And as it says in the scripture, every eye was seeing it, and then right after that, you heard explosions and everything. And right after that, I woke up, and I stayed upstairs, so I went downstairs immediately, grabbed a glass of water, and I had to start reading. Actually, first, I documented my dream. I wrote down everything that happened. And then that's when I actually started reading through just various scriptures. But yeah, that dream had actually shifted me to the point where I actually woke up and I just had to write what had happened.
Okay. And within that dream, you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it was the end of the world.
Yeah.
And that your mother was left behind.
Unfortunately, so.
Hold on. So you said y'all were taken?
So what happened? We were escaping. So we were. It was weird. Like we could see. We was kind of in like a tunnel, and there was a gate at the tunnel, and then you could see kind of like a forest type, or it looked like a wilderness aspect on the other side of the gate. And that's when we were trying to, I guess, make our way through there, and that's when like everything kind of just happened, and that's when I woke up. Started to document it.
Okay, I see. You mean she was?
No, she didn't. She couldn't go with us.
Okay.
Another group that was, I guess, trying to escape as well. They had left out to a different side, and me and my sister were the opposite way.
Understood. Okay, so that dream kind of scared you a little bit.
Yeah. So, I was trying to go back and get her, but it was like something wouldn't allow me to.
Something wouldn't allow you to. That's interesting, isn't it? So after that happened, you go downstairs and get your drink of water, you document your dream, you read your scriptures. Where did it leave you after that? Where was your mind after that? Where was your spirit after that?
Truthfully, my spirit, it was a little shook, understanding that, the Most High does come to you in dreams. So I didn't really know if this was like a wake-up call, like, hey, you really need to, talk to my mom, or you really need to get yourself right as well. But
Hold the mic up.
after that, that's when I contacted my mom. I was talking to her and just trying to, I guess, just still see where her head was at when it came to the truth. But truthfully, it just geared me more towards, girding my loins and staying strong with the word, and just trying to do everything that I can the way I will see.
Okay, so you would say that out of that situation, that the fear of the Most High came upon you?
Most definitely.
Okay. Well, that's good. If the fear of the Most High came on you, then the dream accomplishes its mission. All right? If it calls you to gird up your loins and say, you know what? I gotta be able to take these battles on, like Enoch is saying, I'm able to deal with these things now. He can laugh at them, like, I see you coming. You ain't sneaking up on me. I see you, bruh. Like I told you before, you want to get them thoughts, some evil thoughts like that to run. Go tell that thought to Yeshua on the cross and watch what happens to the thought. It's going to disappear like that. Be gone. Won't even come up no more. Just gone.
So I just had an experience 2 nights ago. I went with my sister to run some errands. And every time we get together, we're being goofy, And the Most High has really been convicting me with that and being a light to her and not being overcome by her spirit, And so she plays music really loud all the time, And so I tried to tell her, like, hey, let's not play certain type of artists or certain type of people. But she still wants to listen to her music. It's her car, At this point, I have not been listening to any sort of music besides Hebrew music for like a few weeks, right? So she takes me to run some errands, and I'm fighting it when I first get in the car, and I'm like, I'm covering my ears. I'm like, no, I don't want to listen. And then eventually I get overcome. I start dancing, we're listening to music and everything. So when I get home that night, I didn't pray after coming home, you know what I mean? Basically I have like this sleep paralysis episode, which is definitely a demon. And I knew exactly what it was when they were trying to come on me. And I was able to fight it off. I woke up with my Bible and I prayed, and I was able to sleep sound the rest of the night. Another day happened, the next day came, and I had to go with her again to do some things. And I was like, all right, I'm going to pray and make sure that I'm girded up after this experience. And I didn't have any attacks or anything. So he showed me, he proved to me that how important that is, you know what I mean? And how I can't continue to entertain certain things regardless of how strong I think I am. Because oftentimes we think that we can go into certain situations with people and we'll be all right, we just gotta pray after. When really, there comes a point when you have to stop entertaining, right? The strangers or the people who are sinning, you know what I mean? Yeah, and so it showed me a lot, and this just happened like 2 days ago, so I'm still kind of reeling from it, you know what I mean? But yeah, I opened that book up quick. I was like, woo, all right.
Man, I bet. Water for that testimony. But you see how quick it happens? As soon as you let your guard down, wow, you got snuck. That quick. You guard your grill every day, every day. As soon as you slip, you get hit. That should be proof that these spirits don't sleep. They waiting for you to put your guard down. They hoping that you put your guard down. They can't wait to see you make a mistake. They just want to see if that is the one thing that will give them access that will cause you not to get back up on your feet. Would that be the knockout punch? Would that be the one thing that's going to keep you laying down? Is that?
One thing, y'all was reading off the book of Enoch, right? I got the app. I got a couple of them. And they not lining up. I ain't reading the same stuff, so maybe I need to get the book, or are these apps inaccurate, or I don't know.
I'll take a look at what you have.
Okay.
Yes, RX Charles version of Enoch. Yeah, which version is that? You got?
Alright. Another thing about music. I used to do music, so that's my thing. That I recently just came to the realization of is you have to like just when you get in your car, your radio will automatically on until you get to your destination. The music gonna change, and until you get out your car, it's gonna be on until you turn your car off. I took like one day with no music, and I was thinking so much, and it made me realize like that's like hypnosis. When you get in your car and there's music, even if you got to turn down low, it's in the back of your brain, blocking that small little voice that guides you. You know what I'm saying? What that voice is listening to now is that little voice that's coming out of that radio. And you wouldn't even, unconsciously, you will find yourself bobbing your head, and you won't even know.
Sister Carmen was talking about that.
Yeah.
She's
So
talking about
music
that
is like, and I realized that for that day. And I did it for a whole week. And now I'm at a point now where it feels good to think. And I thought about so much stuff that I was forgetting, I was procrastinating on, simple stuff. You might think to call somebody, and you don't do it because you get in your car, your music on, and your song come on, and by the end of that ride, you plan on calling somebody for that ride, but you at your destination before you know it. So you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Yeah, your brain, you gotta give your brain a chance to feed you. You gotta give your brain a chance to not be controlled by everything on the outside of it.
Right, and one thing leads to another. Because once you procrastinate on one thing, it can cause you to procrastinate on something else and something else. Next thing you know, you don't miss something that's gonna cause heck to happen in your house.
Right.
When you get home and your wife asks you a question like, did you do it, such and such? And you be like, well, about that, I was, see, what had happened was, and next thing you know, you in an argument. Next thing you know, you in a fight. Like, what just happened? Everything was good. It was all good just a week ago, right? But reality hit, and next thing you know, your house ain't peaceful no more. Your house ain't peaceful no more. That's exactly how quick it happens. And you don't even realize what causes it to happen. But just like Azaz just said, when you in the car, bumping that music, and you ain't even thinking about the music either. It's just playing. You under despair. And it causes you to procrastinate, forget what you were supposed to do, cause an argument, Satan in the corner laughing, his minions in the corner cracking up, and they just waiting to see if that's going to be the straw to break the camel's back. And it happens just like that. So
and we talked about this before in church. You guys said two great points. The first one is that about the music. There's a guy you can Google, I was telling you guys about on YouTube called John Todd about music. And John Todd said that the reason that music was created so that they could cast spirits on people they couldn't normally cast spells on. That's the first thing. Second thing is y'all brought up hypnotism. There's a guy called Mesmer. I can't pronounce his name wrong, but basically the occult wanted to take hypnotism out of the occult and get it into mainstream society. So you listen to music or the beat, it's basically hypnotizing you to give you a message. So as we know with backmasking, we play something backwards. And we know Christ told us that all sins start with a thought. So if something's giving you a thought, and you meditate on that thought, you saying that thing over and over and over and over again, you're embedding the sin in your mind. But what I want to talk about, though, we was talking about dreaming. It's so crazy because I had to confess to my wife a dream I had last night. You know, I had a dream. I was cheating on my wife last night.
My
It
goodness.
was crazy. Like I woke up, I had a,
Let me see your eyes.
yeah.
She
I confessed it immediately.
She didn't got your eyes?
Immediately. I'm like, hold on, I don't know what's going on. Because you know how it is, when you do something wrong, you feel like the woman always know you did it. So I didn't have sex with nobody, let me put that out there right now. But I had my own apartment, and there was a girl in there. I don't know where she came from. My wife wasn't there, my kids wasn't there. And what's so crazy is that I remember that feeling when you was young and you was out there in the streets of lying and having to lie, keep up a lie, and all the things you had, and feeling alone. And I said, I don't like this feeling. Where's my family? Where's my wife? What is going on here? And it was like a whole reality set up, and I was so confused, like, how did I get in this situation? You know, and I woke up, I go in the bathroom, somebody would hug me and say, baby, listen, I gotta tell you about this dream, don't beat me up, but I don't know, this woman was in my apartment, you wasn't there, I don't know how she got there, I swear to God. But listen, I know I ain't supposed to swear, but just so you know, I don't know who she was. You know, but it was just so quick, and I'm sure the devils was laughing because I know there's certain sins I gotta stop doing that I struggle with, they give them access to my brain. And it's always a reminder to me that so you give up them sins, they got access to your brain when you sleep. And that's all I want to say.
All praises, man. The water for that, because that's one of those signs right there that you got to recognize, of course, through self-examination. It sounds like you're already doing that you realize that there's some shortcomings. Those are the shortcomings where those demons, those spirits that don't sleep, that's where they're going to play at. That's their playground right there. Until we cut off the access. Until the road is closed. Till they can't, until you make your election sure that you ain't playing with me in that arena. Not happy. And that's what we gotta do. Because you don't know when your time will come that you go to sleep. If you die in your sin, it does not fare well for you. So we have to try to strive to be perfect. We have to. We have to. So if we keep that fear of the Most High and understanding hell, for instance, and what we're dealing with within hell, we're not going to want to do those things. We're going to say, you know what, I need to seal up this road as quickly as possible. I'm not going to procrastinate on this any longer. Enough is enough.
I just wanted to add on to what I just said about the music. These occultists did extensive study on the brain and how it can record. It could be, a common song, and you don't necessarily like it, but you end up finding yourself repeating it all the time.
That's evidence of that program.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the younger folks, I used to have to get on my son about this. If you're listening to music, do not go to bed listening to music, because that affects you as well.
True indeed, sis. True indeed. That's just another access, another avenue.
They keep repeating the hook over and over again. All songs, they don't be that long. They be like maybe 2 minutes. They say a couple verses and they repeat that hook over and over again.
So we're going to get back on track real quick. Hold your thoughts for a moment. Enoch chapter 22, verse 3, 5, 8 through 9.
And it reads, and there were 4 hollow places in it, deep and very smooth. 3 of them were dark and 1 bright. And there was a fountain of water in its midst. And I said, how smooth are these hollow places, and deep and dark to view? Then Raphael answered, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto me, these hollow places have been created for this very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein. Yea, that all the souls of the children of men should assemble here. And these places have been made to receive them to the day of their judgment, till their appointed period, till the period appointed, till the great judgment comes upon them. I saw the spirits of the children of men who were dead, and their voice went forth to heaven, and made suit Then I asked regarding it, and regarding all the hollow places, why as one separated from the other? And he answered me and said unto me, these three have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And such a division has been made for the spirits of the righteous, in which there is the bright spring of water. And such has been made for sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. Here, their spirits shall be set apart in this great pain to the great day of judgment and punishment and torment of those who curse forever, and retribution for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever.
Read verse 11 again.
Here their spirits shall be set apart in this great pain to the great day of judgment and punishment and torment of those who curse forever.
Those who do what?
Curse.
Say it again.
Curse forever.
Say it one more time.
Curse forever.
One more, that didn't.
Curse forever. And retribution for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever.
How long?
Forever. And such a division has been made for the spirits of those who make their suit, who make disclosures concerning their destruction, when they were slain in the days of the sinners. Such has been made for the spirits of men who are not righteous but sinners, who are complete in transgression. And of the transgressors they shall be companions, but their spirits shall not be slain in the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from thence.
Okay, so this is describing the two areas, the bosom of Abraham and torments. The bosom of Abraham and torments. And there's a great gulf fixed in between them. Okay, now we're getting ready to go into the book of Luke here in just a moment that explains torments and the bosom of Abraham through the story of the rich man and Lazarus. Okay?
So, according to Enoch, there are caverns in which there are places separated for the souls of the righteous, as well as for the wicked, and in the center is a body of water of some sort separating them. A similar account can be found in the Bible itself.
So turn with us to the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 19 through 31. This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verses 19 through 31.
And it reads, there was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham far off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
So here we got the rich man who was dead and buried, and he lifted up his eyes in hell. And now he realized that this place is real. It just got real. See, when everything is good on the earth, you're distracted from reality, quite frankly. Had anyone, if the Most High had given the rich man another chance, I bet you would have done things different. Had he had another opportunity. to do things differently. After lifting up his eyes in hell, to the point that he realized how hot hell was, that he's asking just for a drip of water to be dropped on his tongue. Not even a bottle, just a drop. Now he a rich man on the earth, but this brother ain't asking for a bottle of Dasani. Did I say that right? Dasani. Yeah. This brother just want, he want a drip of water from a dirty hand. He don't even care. Somebody, anybody. Abraham, help! Somebody help me. Give me a drip of water. He's looking for a little bit of relief. Any kind of relief. Because reality has just shown up. Read on.
Verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thou good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things.
So you remember when it was all good for you, rich man, son? When it was all good for you, you had everything you wanted. You had it. You fared sumptuously every day in fine linen. And Lazarus, though, evil things. Evil things. Dogs licking his sores. He just wanted crumbs from the master's table, from the rich man's table. Give me a couple crumbs, man. Can I have something, please? What's the second greatest commandment of ours?
Love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Love your neighbor as yourself. The rich man has an abundance of things. Stuff, food. Lazarus just wanted crumbs and couldn't get none. Did you see the transgression? He did not love his neighbor as himself. The scripture says if you got two coats, what you supposed to do with one of them? Supposed to give one away, right? So that's a commandment. If we're not giving things through charity to people in need, we are transgressing the law of the Most High. This is why the rich man lifted up his eyes in hell. Read on.
But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. Verse 26. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed.
So here's that water area of some sort that separates between the bosom of Abraham, where it's perfectly quiet, paradise, and torments, where they're being tormented until judgment day, where it gets worse. Read on.
So that they which would pass from hence to you cannot.
Ain't no passing one from the other. Nobody from the bosom of Abraham is able to go over to torments. Nobody from torments is able to go over to the bosom of Abraham. Ain't no switching. Ain't no relays. None of that.
Neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment.
Y'all hear that? So now the rich man is begging Abraham to send someone, anyone, to his father's house where he has 5 brethren. He wants them to now tell his brothers and his father that it's real. Mayday, stay away from this place. Reality just hit home with the rich man. Come on.
a discussion I had with my husband a while ago. The question was, so Christ took back authority, he went into the pit and he preached to them, he saved for the 8 souls. And then, so it's referring to these persons that they won't be persuaded by their dad, or they were knocking on the doors saying that this is real. Is that?
I'm having a difficult time hearing you.
Okay, so my question is, was there already a time when the dad rose and went back and testified to them, like, hell is real? Was it the same 8 souls that Christ saved when he went down there into the authority? Is that what?
Yes,
am I right about that? So they came back up with him and was knocking on the doors like, is it real?
Yes.
Okay, because on the verse he says they won't be persuaded. I know you haven't read it yet, but the next verse he says they won't be persuaded by the dad.
Right.
So is that's what he's referring to? Well, that didn't happen yet. He didn't die yet. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that was right. So that did happen.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, it's because he rose from the grave. The thing I would mention is that he rose. If you were a good person, you was in Abraham's bosom. I think those are the people that he rose up. It wasn't necessarily people on the bad side.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you're thinking that like he went down there to the evil side and brought some of them people back up. He be bringing up demons, but no, the good people who died, they were the good side of Abraham's bosom. He brought them up to go testify to people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not specific, but it must have been 8 people that was in the good side of Abraham's bosom that he brought up. You get what I'm saying? Right. Because you have to remember in the Old Testament, most people that died, though, in their heart, they didn't know about Christ. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know there was going to be a day, they didn't know judgment, those type of things. So he went down there and told them. That makes sense?
Okay. Go ahead.
Now these next 3 verses, y'all, are deep. There's some great understanding here. So really tune in. Luke 16, verse 29. Abraham said unto him,
this is his answer.
They have Moses and the prophets.
So they got Moses and the prophets. Meaning they already have all the information that they need. It's already readily available for you at this point. Now see, last week we were talking about Paul and how Paul said, look, when he was on trial, he said, I believe all things within the law and the prophets. All things I believe. Anything you bring up, I will say, yes, I believe that. So they have both Moses, the law that was given, which is Christ, by the way, because he is the word of the Most High, and the word was spoken, the law was spoken, the commandments were spoken to Moses to be given to the children of Israel. That is Christ. In the Old Testament. In the Old Testament. So, and the prophets spoke about Christ in their writings. So you have both Moses and the prophets. Listen to what he says right after this.
Let them hear them.
Let them hear them. Let your 5 brothers and your daddy hear them. Let them hear them and see if they pass the test. Because we're all going through tests. Because the scriptures told us he's going to prove us. Proving is a test. It's a testing. Now, if you're going through a test, just like in school, if you pass the test, you get to go to another grade. You get to graduate to another level. There is spiritual maturity also. There is levels of understanding as well. So as you pass the test, you will grow in those areas. If you fail the test, you will get held back. Do over, do over, do over. Same grade, doing it again. That's how the children of Israel was traveling around the mountain for 40 years. Because the test was not passed. We don't?
I was going to say, you're going to look real silly when you got facial hair on your face and you still like in the 10th grade, you know?
John, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Verse 30. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they would repent.
So the rich man is begging Father Abraham. He said, no, I don't want to accept that. I don't want to accept that, Father Abraham. Send somebody who has died back so that they can see like Doubting Thomas had to see. See, Doubting Thomas had to see the holes in Christ to believe. He said, send somebody that somebody know has died. And then they will say, well, man, I know you was dead. I went to your funeral. I mourned for you for 7 days. And now I see you back in front of me telling me that hell is real. I might believe that. Or would you? Remember, the children of Israel came out of Egypt through the splitting of the sea. And they still went into pagan worship days after that. If you went through that and witnessed that, could you be persuaded differently? We would say that, right? But the book tells us differently, doesn't it? You let your guard down, you can get knocked off real quick. There's only 2 adults that made it into the promised land. Only 2. How many souls came out of Egypt? No, that's how many went into Egypt. It was 7. 600,000 and the children. That's the men. 600,000 men. But you got women, children, and animals too. Only 2 adult men and children got in. That's it. Got into the promised land. The promised land. Everybody else died off, man. Everybody else died off.
I just wanted to say about the leveling up, that it gets harder too. You know, when you go past that test and you get to that next class, it gets harder. And more obstacles come, and Satan sends out more chief angels and principalities to attack you in the places where you're weak, you know. So we have to stay diligent and continue to seek the Father and stay focused, because there will be more obstacles along the way, you know. It don't get easier, we just get stronger and wiser, you know.
That's right. And perspective is everything. We gotta understand that 7th graders aren't doing what college folks are doing. 7th graders are with other 7th graders. They're doing what other 7th graders do. So when you get to a college level material, you on a whole nother level of understanding at this point. Your study habits should be different. Your discipline should be different. All sorts of things should have changed and have matured over the years, or you would not be there. Or you would not be there. So
I just want to put a note to our Christian brothers and sisters. We may have missed something here. As it read that the beggar was took to Abraham's bosom, can we stop going to funerals and saying that our grandmas are up in heaven looking down on us? Can we stop saying that? Can we use the scripture and tell them, please, that's foolishness?
John.